Before coming to Michigan, I lived in Florida. Yeah, where there's no snow, and that's great, but there are these hurricanes. Yeah, I know for a decade what it was like to live right in the bullseye of Mother Nature, what it's like to go to Lowe's and find the store shelves completely empty, to have to go back home and batten down the hatches and hope for the best. That's the kind of imagery we see as we get to chapter 8 of the book of Revelation. It says, "Then the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared to sound them." As these trumpets are blown, the result is shocking. Hail and fire, the sea turning to blood, fish dying, rivers and springs made bitter, sun, moon, and stars darkened, locust and darkness, and 1/3 of humanity killed. As I look at that list, it reminds me of something. It reminds me of the 10 plagues against Egypt in the Old Testament. You can see there, they're very, very similar. The picture that Revelation gives us is God is doing that again. He is delivering his people. He is fighting battles on behalf of his people. That's what the trumpets are about, calling the Lord to battle on behalf of his people. But where are God's people in the midst of all this? We just read about 6 trumpets, but there's an interlude before the 7th. And what happens? Interestingly enough, a measuring. John says, "I was given a reed like a measuring rod and was told, 'Go and measure the temple of God and the altar with its worshipers.'" In the Bible, measuring is a picture of protection, to say God knows who you are, he knows where you are, he will not forget you, and he will take care of you. In the midst of all of this, God is fighting a battle for his people, and they are safe. And John receives in this chapter what he calls a bittersweet message. It's sweet in his mouth, but sour in his stomach, because it's good news and it's bad news all in one. For those who are in Christ, they are protected and safe. For those who reject Christ, there is no protection for them. That, my friends, is the same bittersweet message that comes to us today. And my key question for you is this: what will you do with the message you've been given today? The Bible's clear. Its message is there is a storm coming for people you know and love, and it's worse than any hurricane. It's the storm of God's wrath against sin. And there's one way to avert that, to be safe through it, and that is the cross and Jesus who took that wrath in our place. I want to encourage you to share that important message with all the people you love. We're going to continue our series this Sunday at 10 a.m. Hope to see you at Cascade Fellowship.